I've spent about 18 months creating my own football game, and in the last week, I finally added the most requested feature in all of these development videos. You can now control your own player inside Football Rewritten. From version 1 back in March last year to the version I showed you guys when I announced the project until last week, every single match has only been computer versus computer. Everything was just a massive block of code that decided if the ball is doing this, then the players should do that. Everything had to change to add player controls, and for the past couple of weeks I've been rewriting almost all of my code. I actually showed off the first versions of this on Discord about a week or two ago, and if you'd like to see some more behind the scenes footage, then of course consider joining the Patreon, where you'll get access to that Discord, which I post a lot of videos and screenshots about what I'm working on, as well as you'll get access to some blog posts where I go into more detail about what the plans are for certain features. But for this feature, I think it's one that a lot of people are very interested in, so it's something that I needed to get right. I think you can probably tell that this is still an early version, where some things have had quite a bit of work on them, like finesse shots, which feel quite satisfying to score, and that is actually something I'm quite proud of, but other things are brand new features to the game, like dynamic first touches. I've only worked on the attacking side of things too. I can't imagine that adding defending will be too much more work for me to do. Everything else is in a state that is somewhere between borderline playable already and almost fully implemented. Let's talk about dribbling to start off with, which is something I think was really difficult to get the AI to do right in computer versus computer matches. The good news is that the effort we put into those make it a lot easier for us to predict where the ball is going to be and pick the right animation when we're actually controlling the player. At the minute, it looks janky because I haven't really tuned how close the player has to be for animations and stuff like that, and I am still missing quite a lot of animations for turning at specific angles, but I'm going to try and fix that over the course of this summer and get that looking spot on. One of the key points about the dribbling was that I tried to make foot planting a central part of the gameplay, because that's something that really annoys me when I see players skating around in other sports games. I'm using something called IK, which make the player's feet touch the ground where they should, and it's something that Unreal does really well, and also one of the main reasons I actually chose to use this game engine all those months ago. IK is also doing the dynamic first touches, where a player will reach their foot out to touch the ball and cushion it and then turn in a specific direction. Every foot has a couple of points that can get snapped onto the floor, so they won't move unless the foot is part of an animation, which means there's no warping around and there's no skating that you'll see in other games. Again, that is part of the game that still needs some work, because we are nowhere near finished with it, as you can probably tell from some of these videos. Shooting is another thing that is really important to get right, because if it doesn't feel nice to score a goal, what is the point of actually playing football? We've got a few different shot types in here already, and these were all mocapped by me, and probably will be replaced if I can get some time with some slightly more technically gifted players over the course of this summer. At the moment, there are 4 shot types in the game. There's the chip shot, which of course will loft the ball over the goalkeeper. We have the finesse shot, which you definitely know what that is. It's like a high power curling ball at the far corner. If you go heavy on the power, you also get to use the power shot, which will just kind of blast the shot, but usually not into the corners. And then we have the placed shot, which is sort of a middle ground of all of them, where you can aim for the corners with some decent powers, but you might not get the curve or the loft to beat the goalkeeper. Passing is working reasonably well, although again there's some work that can be done here. First time passing animations are missing for some of the angles, so players can impact the ball without actually playing the right animation, which does look quite strange. Pass selection is also almost entirely done by the angle of the joystick and the power you put on it, with a tiny bit of assist to make sure the ball is roughly heading in the right direction. Goalkeeping is still in the same state it was from the AI versus AI games. You can't control the goalkeeper yet. I'm not sure if I will ever actually add that feature. But by adding the ones that we've already added, we can actually move on to the next version of the game. And by that, I don't mean a sequel or anything stupid like that before we've even released the first one. What I mean is we can start to progress the game faster and faster and make the game sort of teach itself how to play. One of the things we can do now is use this attacking toolset to train the goalkeepers using machine learning. I'm not sure that I've ever mentioned this on my channel before, but my dissertation for my university project was on machine learning. It's one of my favourite things to work with. It's something that I think almost anyone can learn and can improve something in their lives if they know how to train their own convolutional network. So that's what I'm planning to do over the next couple of weeks. We can use our existing computer versus computer matches to start to train machine learning networks how to play our game. We can spawn instances of the game where it's just a ball, a goalkeeper and an attacker, and let the attacker hit random shots in thousands and thousands of different positions until the goalkeeper saves a realistic amount of them with their body. This is exactly how big games train their characters too. Nordeus, who make the Dream League soccer games, I think, have done exactly the same thing with their midfielders to teach them to intercept the ball better. EA talk about how they do this almost every single year, with their goalkeepers and their defenders being trained on both machine learning and real life data, which unfortunately I don't have available to me, so this will have to do. So while adding player control seems like it could be a fairly big improvement and a new feature to the game, it's not only a fairly big improvement, it's actually one of the biggest things we could possibly do to have a fun, realistic, modern looking football game for both player controlled matches and computer versus computer controlled matches. All of the work we do on this part of the game moves over to the other one, so if you're not interested in playing the matches at all, this is also good news for you. Most importantly, these machine learning networks can adapt to different situations, so if we train it with enough data, we can have something that is really good in both 70s football and 2020s football. I guess that's what I'll be doing for the next couple of weeks in the background, while also making some other stuff that I can show you guys in videos, so make sure you subscribe if you want to see how we get on with our convolutional networking goalkeeper solution. That was a proper mouthful. And after the goalkeeper, we can then move on to teaching players how to tackle, when the ball is getting dribbled at them, where to move, how to intercept passes, how to play through balls like your Kevin De Bruyne. It's almost ironic that I've had to rewrite Football Rewritten to get into this position, but I am more excited than I have ever been to keep working on this game. Like I said at the start of the video, please do consider joining the Patreon, where your money will help me fund some more time on some more powerful machines than what I have right now to help train these machine learning models. The more time I have, the better the AI is going to be. And these models aren't anything like ChatGPT. Don't think they're like that. They're fully local and fully customized by me. But my poor old 3070, which is a couple of years old now and starting to die, is going to struggle if I'm relying on it to work non-stop on neural networks for a couple of weeks. There's also the fact that it's about 35 degrees in the UK as I record this, and my room might literally melt through the floor. So that is the player control system as it stands. At the minute, of course, it is just for attackers. But thank you for watching this video, because that also supports the project through the ad revenue that YouTube gives me. So even if you don't have the money to help out on Patreon, please do know that you are helping out just by watching this video. If you want to help out even more, please do like it and also share it with someone who you think might be interested, and subscribe if you want to be super helpful. But thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you think this is a big step forward as I do, and I'll see you soon. Cheers and goodbye.